Alright, welcome to Ultimate Survival Gears. Today I wanted to talk about Bob. The bug out bag as we call it. But because this is the ultimate survival stuff, I'm gonna call it Ultimate Survival Bag because bug out bag just sounds a little too preppy, if you know what I mean. So, the idea behind this video is to help you understand the idea behind the ultimate survival bag. And I know there's a lot of videos out there on the internet, on the YouTube, about building your bug out bag, survival kit, whatever you want to call it. Why is this any special? Well, really it isn't. It isn't any special at all. I recommend watching as much stuff and researching as much stuff as you can. The only difference that I can say is that this thing I actually used at least 20 times. So it's not just something that lays in my closet for years expecting that one day something bad is gonna happen and I'll have to run out of my house and travel and walk or whatever, fight, do whatever's necessary on the way, right, to survive. No, this actually I used on every single hike, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I kind of wanted to make that point, point number one, important one, is that your survival bag is going to be very similar to a regular hiking, camping out bag. Plus, of course, your ammo, your weaponry, whatever you're using. So, let's start from the very beginning. Alright, so what should be in your bag? So there are a few things, a few categories that we want to talk about. And as I go along, I'm going to give you tips here and there, little tips. So, tip number one, build your bag yourself from scratch. That's tip number one. There's a lot of kits out there. You can go to Amazon, you can type up survival bag, survival kit, and literally thousands of products are gonna come up, already built up bags. And I'm not saying that they're bad. Some of them are actually really good. They do have a lot of good stuff in them. But here's the thing. You don't want something that was already put together by someone for you, because that bag that was put together is from the perspective of the person that was putting the bag together, if you know what I mean, right? So this one person, let's say it's me, let's say I am building a bag for you, let's say this is the bag that I prepared for you, right? I put my own idea of survival, my own skills, my own tools that I think I would need on the survival, my own gear, whatever you really, right? From my own perspective, I put it together for you. Now, why is that the problem? No, number one problem is, of course, first of all, you don't know where everything is. And most of the times that's what happens. People buy the survival bag, right? And they think, okay, I have a survival bag, I'm gonna put it in the closet and I'll keep it there until something bad happens. So they never actually really open it, alright? That's number one. Number two is that even if you do open it and play around with it, most of the times there's a bunch of random stuff that you do not even know what it is, how to use it, because it was put together from the perspective of another person, alright? So if you want to extract something from the video, one useful thing is build your bag yourself, and it's going to be much more efficient, much smarter, alright? Now let's start from the bag itself. As you can see, this one is by Falco. I love Falco. They are located in Slovakia, all the way in Slovakia, but very good quality. I'll put the link in the description below. But I got it from them for my Firearms of America channel for a review, which I did actually a big Appalachian Trail trip with this bag, besides many other trips that I've done. So it's tested, alright? The quality is tested. But as you can see, this is really a medium size. You can go as big as you want. There are much bigger bags out there. This probably would be about 40-50 pounds, which is what I have whenever it's fully loaded, and I'll explain what fully loaded means. But let's get into the insides of the bag. So a few things that you want to concentrate on whenever you're building your bug out bag, and this is gonna be in my very main, as you can see, biggest main compartment. Now, you don't have to do it the same exact way. You can put it in whatever compartment you want in your bag, depending on what kind of bag it is. But number one, your sleeping situation. All right, so obviously with hiking and camping, it is understandable. All right, you're going out to camp, so you're planning to bring either the tent, or you're planning to bring a hammock or sleeping bag, however you want to sleep, it really doesn't matter. But whenever it comes to the bug out bags, right, bobs, most of the times whenever I talk to other people that do prepare for the survival, so concentrate on all the tactical skills, survival skills, right, they seem to miss that part whenever it comes to sleeping. Now, the reason why most of the times they neglect it is because they think, well, you know, I'm gonna put something else instead of, you know, it's just, it's not in their mind. But your sleeping does not have to be take too much space or weight. Like for example, this is probably the biggest bedroom, your sleeping situation, right, that you can think of. Hammock right here. So this is there's a hammock here, there's a rain fly, there's all the gear necessary inside of this little pouch necessary for setting up your hammock in whatever condition. And it has a mosquito insect nest, not nest, that would be bad if it was a mosquito nest in the freaking thing. No, it has a mosquito net, alright, insect net on the hammock, so you can, you know, if you're, you know, bugging out, because this is a bug out bag, right, this is your survival situation, you're traveling for miles, you cover 10-15 miles by foot, now you are in more or less safe area, now you can take a little rest, a little bit of sleep, and this is it. Now you don't have to go with a hammock. Personally, this is my personal choice, that's why it's a little big, but you can save some space and some weight if you go with a tent or if you go with a sleeping bag. I went with a hammock because I don't want to deal with the freaking insects crawling on the floor, although probably I wouldn't care if it's a survival situation, but still I want to be as comfortable as I can be, right? So I went with a hammock, and I'll put the links in the description below. It's one of them by Oak Creek Outdoor Supply, and I tested it already many times on my hikes, and it holds very nicely. It's as good as it can be, right? So the bedroom is covered. Now let's move on to the kitchen. Now you see how it kind of becomes like a house. It's not really a bug out bag, it's more like a house in a bag, right? So all your living is covered. So let's move on to the kitchen. Now, whenever it comes to the bug out bag and the food, the kitchen situation in general, first of you have two categories, right? Whenever it comes to eating, whenever it comes to your bug out bag, you have an immediate food that is right there, that is ready for you to eat, right there, whether it's cooked already. All you need to do is just unwrap it and eat it. Or whenever it comes to actually cooking, actually finding food, right? Most of the times hunting. So you have a food that you have with you, and you also have something that you can acquire more food. For example, if you're in the woods, you have something with you that you can hunt with. A bow and arrow, whether it's a firearm, or really however you, whatever your favorite hunting means are. Maybe you hunt with a knife, I don't know, it's up to you. But two categories, immediate and hunting. Now the immediate food also can be broken down in two categories. It's literally something that you unwrap it and you eat it, or a little kind of a pre-made meal like I like. And depending on which way you want to go, do you want to carry all the dry food, all the protein bars and whatever, and not have hot meals, or do you want to carry a little kitchen with you that you can use to actually make yourself a full, legit, alright, legit meal, okay? Now what do you need for something like that? This is my personal preference because I'd rather have energy, and food gives us energy, right, than eating freaking protein bars all day and then feeling like garbage in 2 days, because you're not gonna last too long on those. But here, and again I'll put the links in the description below, hopefully I'll find all of them. There's a little kitchen set that comes with the frying pan, a little frying pan, and then whatever is cold. It also comes with all the forks, all the everything you need to cook a little bit of something, right? But in my situation, all I really use it for most of the times is, and you can use the same thing for cooking your thing that you caught, right? You're hunting, you shot a bird, poor bird, but now now you have a means to cook it. So that's another plus of having this. But with this, you would also need the means to make some fire, and that's again goes into two categories. You can have a ready fire with a gas and a little stove, and I'll again put the links in the description below. This little tiny stove right here doesn't take any space at all. As you can see, this is really all it is. You're screwing it on top of the gas canister. You light it up, and actually this one lights up by itself, as you can see. Does it? Yeah, you can see the electrical thing going on it. So it lights up by itself, and there you go, you have fire. Now, there's another option for the fire besides this thing. You can also go ahead and actually start a fire. So for that, you would obviously need either matches or something that creates a spark, a lighter, whatever. I recommend carrying both. I recommend carrying this, that's my personal preference, and a lighter or a spark or whatever that you can start a fire. When you run out of this one, you can always use that. Two things to consider with that being said, with different fires, is first of all, this will not leave any marks or will not attract any attention, alright? Because this right here it burns, it doesn't create any kind of smoke or anything like that. If you're starting the fire in the woods especially, that right there is gonna be, that fire will attract attention for miles and miles away. You know, people are gonna know that, aha, there's somebody in the woods burning stuff up, okay? Of course, whenever you're cooking food, obviously even with this you're gonna create smell, and you know, that will attract attention, but still not as bad as the fire. A little bit about the food. I do carry both. I do carry the protein bars as the immediate source if I need something really quickly just to snack on it, right? While hiking, while walking, so that I don't have to stop. But I also do carry a few days of dry food supplies, and I'll show you which ones I carry, and I carry those in a separate compartment. This one, it's a smaller compartment in front of it. This is where all my food is. Ta-da! Wait, no, this one is not it. I'll show you the one that I really, really like. This is the one I really, really like. Very good quality, and I never thought that the freaking dried food can taste as good. This is beef stroganoff. I tried that, I tried their chili, I tried whatever. I'll put the links in the description below. Amazing. Actually, I have a video on this channel where I cook one of these on top of the mountain or from one of my hikes, and it tastes good. Obviously, compared to a protein bar, this really will fill you up. It has proteins, it has a carbs, obviously not much vegetables unfortunately, but I'm sure you can figure something out with vegetables as well, and that shouldn't be a big deal, but still much better than the protein bar. So I carry a few days usually of these. Now one of these things can last you for 2 meals. So let's say you have something for breakfast, a couple of protein bars for breakfast, and then you're walking, then you stop for lunch, you make this, you eat half, and then you also have a dinner that is ready. Now all you need to do for this is boil up some water, open this thing up, put the water in, seal it for about, it says 10 minutes, but I would recommend keeping it at least 15 minutes closed, sealed, because it makes it much more delicious, much better in general from my experience. And that's it. So that's why I carry that whole kitchen and all of that, so that I can boil the water. That's one of the things. And then obviously whenever I run out of this, if I need to hunt, I can always hunt and cook whatever I catch, right, on that kitchen. So both ways good. Now again, this is up to you. This is your personal decision. Do you want to carry 1 day of these supplies. Do you want to carry 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, depending on how big of a bag you go. Now these do not weigh anything. These are very, very lightweight. The only thing, they take a little bit of space. Not a big deal. Good thing to have. Alright, now in the same compartment where I have my dry food, I also have one very important thing. We can move on now from food to water, which is very important. Obviously you need water to cook food. Obviously you need water to drink. Now, water wise, I carry a canister right here on the side. I'm gonna take it out, and again, I'll try to find the link for this canister because it is really good. Ta-da! I think this one is 40 ounce, so I believe either 2 or 3 regular bottles of water go into this. So that's immediate water supply that I have on me whenever I'm leaving the house, whenever I'm on the hike, right? But what happens when you run out? Well, what happens when you run out, you either find more clean water that you can refill this, or if you can't find clean water, as long as you find fresh water, what I 100% definitely recommend you having in your bob is the water filtration system. Now this does not weigh anything, it doesn't take pretty much any space, this freaking thing right here, and this is the filter itself. Now with this you can actually, as long as you find fresh water source, you can take it straight out of the source, whether it's a river, whether it's a spring, whatever it is, and it will filter out. Now the filter on this is 0.1 microns, so you can just drink it straight out of this, or you can fill it into this pouch, you can fill it in your canister, refill your water supplies. Good. So awesome thing to have. It does not cost anything. It's like, honestly, I don't even know how much it costs, but it's not expensive. I'll find the link in this and put it in the description below. This is good to have, alright? So you have immediate water and you have supplies to find more water. Same thing with the food. You have immediate food and you have supplies to find more food. Alright? You see how it works, right? It covers you right now and it covers you in the future. And that's really the whole idea. Okay, so this is the stuff that I have here. If you have, you know, if I need to get more food, which depends on how long, usually as my bug out bag, like I said, I carry 3 days worth of this kind of food. And whenever it comes to the hiking situations, if I go for 2 days, I only carry 2 days, obviously, not to carry extra weight or anything like that. Alright, so this pretty much covers your sleeping, your bedroom, your kitchen, your food, your water. Alright, now let's move on to your toiletry, I guess. Now for that you would want to obviously carry, and I'll show you a few things. I carry on the side, it's not in my bug out bag, I carry it on the side. It's basically a digger, and it also has a saw on the side. It's a multi-purpose tool, but I use it for digging. If you need to dig a hole for whatever, for the waste or something like that. For example, these wipes right here, you probably would want to carry those just in case, you know, if you need to sanitize yourself. And you can bury them. You can bury them in the ground and they're biodegradable. So while you're surviving, you're not ruining the environment. Okay, good stuff. Obviously, your other things like toothpaste, toothbrush, whatever really you think you might need on your survival. Do you want to have a fresh breath when you're surviving, or no? You know, it's up to you. But that toiletry stuff, obvious stuff, it also brings me to the Medkit stuff. And Medkit usually I carry here at the front. As you can see, this red kind of string on this bag kind of indicates red medical stuff. And again, this one is very personalized, right? If you are on a certain type of medication, if you have some kind of condition, medical condition, insulin, whatever, diabetes, you know, if you need that stuff, obviously that should be there, okay? And obviously if you keep stuff like medication in your bug out bag, make sure to check it, you know, at least once every couple months, to make sure that it's not expired, okay, and update it, keep it updated, make sure that it's always good and usable and ready to go. But for me, I don't need any kind of stuff like this, so the only things I carry in my Medkit is just a basic first aid kit, some bandages, some whatever stuff needed for stitching, the needle, the strings, just a basic first aid kit, something that would sterilize the whatever. I'm not a doctor, but something that would take care of your wound, right? If something happened. Medkit. That's why it's called Medkit. Obviously, put some stuff, because it doesn't take any, you know, any weight, like Pepto-Bismol or whatever. Something for your stomach. Something if you would catch a cold or whatever. If you need to drop the fever, if you have fever, something anti-inflammatory. Just a basic set of medication that you have in your cabinet, right? So again, we have bedroom to consider, you have kitchen with food and water to consider, you have your toiletry to consider, you have your med kit to consider. Now, obviously, with all of that stuff comes another thing, all right? Now that's your not outfit, but outfit, sort of a backup outfit that you would want to carry in your bug out bag. Now here, for example, I have right out of the bed tactical gloves. Now tactical gloves is not something that I would put on if I needed to run out of my house. I would put on my tactical gloves, put on my bag and go. No, but gloves is very, very important, something definitely you need to have in your bug out bag. So, because I'm not gonna put them on before I leave, I put them in my bag so that they're always with me, so that in the future, if something happens and I need to put them on, I have them, alright? Or, for example, the raincoat. Again, if it's not raining when I'm leaving, I'm not gonna put it. But I don't want the rain to stop me so that I can, you know, I want to keep on going, for example, right? You're hiking, you're surviving, you're traveling to the safe destination and it starts raining. Obviously, you can't keep walking in the rain because you're gonna get wet and you don't want to get all your supplies, all your weapons, all your whatever wet, okay? So this raincoat does not take any space, does not weigh anything. You can put it on and you can keep on walking, okay? What else is a part of the outfit? Obviously you want, if you are wearing a t-shirt, if you're wearing something light, you want to have something warmer, a warm pair of socks, underwear that you can change, maybe a pair or two, same thing with socks, a pair or two of socks, something warmer like a longer, maybe a hoodie or something like that. If you, for example, like in my situation, I'm in Florida, okay, so I'm not gonna be dealing with cold weather. But if I am traveling and I'm traveling up north and I'm walking, I'm hiking towards up north, at night it gets cold, so you want to have something that you can take out of your bag and put it on. And usually I have all of that stuff in my main compartment. Alright, of course, your outfit that you're gonna be wearing while all of this is happening, that you're hiking in. Obviously, this is why I have my channel with all the boots reviews that I do. You would want to wear those boots or shoes, whatever you pick. And now I've done a lot of reviews on this channel, so there's a lot of options out there. But kind of recently that I added to my survival bag, it's not in it yet, but it will be because I'm looking for a perfect pair, is multi-purpose barefoot shoes, okay? They don't take any space, they don't really weigh anything, but here's an advantage of having a backup shoes in your bug out bag. Let's say I'm wearing my hiking boots and I'm walking for miles, whatever, they get wet, I have a backup pair. I have to cross the river and I don't want to get my boots wet, I put on my barefoot water shoes slash climbing shoes slash trail running shoes slash all of those things, right? So this little barefoot, and I've done already one review and I got two two of those shoes sitting in my house right now that I need to review as well, and I'll post them, so there will be more of those definitely, because I'm really I like that idea a lot. And because you have your boots, you take them off, you put on those barefoot shoes, and now you can climb. Obviously without a bag, you leave the bag somewhere safe, you climb to explore the area, to check up on something, or if you're hunting, you can run on them, you can cross the river on them, you can do a lot of things that you would not want to do in your boots. So I think it's a great idea. Again, it's up to you to consider. All right. Of course, with when you're done with the shoes, if you want to carry an extra pair of, I don't know, pants, jackets, whatever is necessary, obviously that's gonna be there as well. And with that, all of that being said, it comes the bag of how big of a bag you want to go with. Now, little things like carabiners, I have them hanging around on the bag and in the bag here and there. Obviously the rope, obviously all your knives, whatever knives you prefer for hunting, using as a weapon. Maybe if you need to sharpen a stick to use it as a spear, I don't know, use your imagination. Paracords, usually I carry as a bracelet. I also have a paracord on my digger tool, multi-purpose tool that I use for digging and as a saw. Alright, so I have all of these little things, and then I have a separate cord hanging around here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it went, but it definitely is somewhere in the bag. So I have these things all over the place, right? I also have a lock, for whatever reason, solar charger battery pack. I carry a few of those because you can attach it to your carabiner on your bag while you're walking and it's charging. So if you still want to use your phone even whenever you're surviving, you have this thing. And the nice thing about this is also a flashlight. Obviously a couple of flashlights. We got knives, we got paracords as a bracelet with a compass, and a freaking whistleblower and a striker for spark. Okay, so that's your fire situation. But with these little tools, you can go as crazy as you want. You can have whatever really you want, and whenever you build it yourself, once you're done building, make sure to actually go and take it out on a hike. Or it doesn't have to be a big hike, doesn't have to be a long camp, just so that you can test it out, so that you know, okay, this tool right here is freaking useless, I'll never use it, okay? Or, you know what, I think I need this, and you go home, once you're done with your hike, you order it, and now you add it to your bag. Obviously the very last, is gonna be all your weapons that you carry, if you prefer to carry a bow, a crossbow, and whatever kind of knives, whatever kind of firearms. Now this is all up to you, your preference, because I mean, obviously me, I would be with a firearm, a few of them with different calibers, but really this is a personal preference, and I think we're gonna do the whole different video on that. So in the conclusion, if you want to take out just the most important points, your survival bag, build it yourself. Make sure that there is bedroom, kitchen, toiletry, medication, weaponry, all of that stuff. Whenever it comes to food, think for right now and the future. Whenever it comes to water, think for right now and the future. Backup clothes, obviously your whole outfit is gonna be part of your survival bag, if you call it, but we will do a separate video on that. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions, if you think that there's something missing, I probably I did not mention some of the things that I have in this bag, but I try to concentrate on the most important things. But if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. If you have any review requests, drop them in the comments below as well. Thank you very much guys for watching. I appreciate you being part of this channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.